We've all heard the phrase, prices are determined by free markets. It sounds neutral, right? Scientific, almost natural, like gravity. There's nothing neutral about global markets, and they were never truly free for most of the world. For those that do not know me, my name is Timothy and I run a WhatsApp group for the Black Diaspora, a space where we study the moves the world makes around us. Every day, we break down global shifts, political patterns, and the power play shaping Black futures everywhere. We also host a live Zoom meeting every last Friday of the month. All these links are in the bio. When people say free markets, what they usually mean is markets shaped by powerful countries, not by everyone equally. Let's be precise. Global trade rules were not designed by the world. They were designed primarily by wealthy industrial nations, first through institutions like the IMF and the World Bank after World War II, and later through the World Trade Organization. While people often say the G20, the real agenda setters historically were the G7, the US, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Canada, and Japan. The G20, which includes some developing countries, only emerged in 1999 and mainly coordinates financial stability, not the foundational trade architecture. By the time Africa and most of the so-called third world were invited into these conversations, the rules were already written. African countries were never at the table when bilateral and multilateral trade agreements were negotiated at scale. They were subjects of trade policy, not authors of it. The unspoken consensus was simple and brutal. As long as African countries were cut off from real consumer markets, they would never be able to sell finished products at market prices. So what was Africa allowed to sell? Raw materials, unprocessed goods, low-value exports. I'm talking about cocoa, not chocolate. Cotton, not clothing. Oil, not refined fuel. Why? Without access to large protected markets, you cannot build competitive manufacturing. You can't scale, you can't price fairly, and you can't survive global competition. Even within Africa itself, colonial borders and weak regional alliances made it almost impossible to trade finished goods across the continent. Different tariffs, different regulations, different currencies, no unified market. So African producers were trapped. Sell raw materials cheap or don't sell at all. Then the same global system turned around and said, see, Africa doesn't produce anything of value. The market has spoken. That's not the free market. That's market exclusion dressed up as economics. So before I go, a truly free market assumes equal access, equal negotiating power, equal ability to sell finished goods. Africa never had that. So when prices are said to be determined by free markets, we need to ask the real questions. Free for whom? Free to sell what? And free to whom? If you were never allowed into the market in the first place, the price was never yours to determine. So I'll leave you with this question. Do you think global markets are actually free, or just free for the countries that designed them? Drop your take in the comments. Let's move.